Through the window, I see you waiting. You are smiling, 'cause I'm coming. Your eyes are a story, an ocean of memories, pictures of faces and places, and all of the things that make us feel like we have it all. All of the times that make us realize we have it all. We have it all. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Living and dying, laughing or crying. If we have the whole world or have nothing, I know there are long nights, but we'll make it. With every sunrise comes a new life, and all of the things that make us feel like we have it all. All of the times that make us realize we have it all. We have it all. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Father's love, a wedding dance, New Year's dreams, a toast with friends, a soldier coming home from war, a faith, a hope for so much more. A brand new life, a mother's prayer, shooting stars, ocean air, a lover's kiss, hard goodbyes, fireworks, Christmas lights. These are the things that make us feel alive. These are the times that make us realize life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. These are the things that make us feel. Life is beautiful. These are the times that make us realize.
Who gives this woman in marriage?
I do. I'm her father.
Okay. Give your daughter a kiss.
I'll be such a
Put those two hands together. Thank you, Dad. Good job.
maybe.
I don't know, there's a badge of blue sky.
We all set.
think so.
The sun is coming out. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Casper. I'm the Justice of the Peace. And we're about to have a wonderful wedding ceremony. The sun is going to come out, and you know when it rains, it's always good luck for the bride and the groom. And so here we are today. We're gathered here on this rather unique spring afternoon of a little rain and sun to celebrate one of life's happiest occasions. For this afternoon, Dalton Wyatt and Kimberly Crum will formalize the love that they share for one another as they unite in the bonds of marriage. But what is marriage? See, sun's coming out. It's all going to work. There are many views, but let me share a couple of those views with you. You see, technically, marriage is a pact. It's a formalized contract between two consenting adults that is usually witnessed by many people who are friends and family, as well as officially being recognized by the state. And that contract stipulates that you'll have a relationship with and be committed to only that other person until one or the other partner's life ends. You'll accept that person for who they are, and you'll stand by that person when they're ill or times are bad, as well as share in their prosperity and health. You see, love is the ink that makes this contract a solid bond. Now, as we all know, not everyone who enters into this contract can make it last. Marriage could dissolve for any number of reasons: lack of commitment, not accepting of the other for who they are, and finding out that love is merely an attraction and not a bond. You see, true love is something beyond the warmth and the glow and the excitement and romance of being deeply in love. The tie of marriage combined with true love is the most tender of all relationships. It's caring as much about the welfare and happiness of your partner in life as it is about your own. True love is not total absorption in each other, but is looking outward in the same direction, together. Love makes the burdens lighter because you divide them. It makes the joys in life more intense because you share them. True love makes you stronger because you work together as a team, and that allows you to reach out and become involved with life in ways that you dared not risk alone. And when two people truly in love unite in marriage, it makes for a most wondrous relationship with an awesome responsibility for each partner. Now, for those of you who are married, do you remember the first time you met your spouse? Well, Kim and Dalton are high school sweethearts, meeting at a high school in Oklahoma City back in May of 2009. Dalton graduated that year and joined the Air National Guard Military Police while staying in touch with Kim until she graduated in 2011. Both wanted to further their education, so they entered college together and entered degree programs, getting not one, but 2 degrees, one in forensics and one in psychology, and they both graduated last year in 2016. Kim is now working in the psychology field, and Dalton is still with the Guard after 10 years, but both are looking towards the future and relocating to New Hampshire. Their relationship continued to develop and grow as Kim finished high school and as they attended college together. Dalton knew that Kim was the one he wanted to spend his life with, so in May of 2015, he planned to ask Kim to marry him. Now, in order to make his plan work, he enlisted the help of Kim's mom, Sue. Dalton had asked Kim to go to dinner with him at a place that they've been before. Well, you see, Kim wasn't planning on getting dressed up, but ended up in a dress after some convincing by Sue. A limo shows up and out steps Dalton, giving her a surprised look. Well, they head out to this restaurant and come to find out Dalton had rented the entire restaurant just for the two of them. Well, they have a wonderful dinner, and then the owner brings out dessert and champagne for them. Well, by now, Kim is curious as to why all this fuss. Dalton then gets down on one knee and asks Kim to marry him. Kim was so shocked she didn't remember all the words that Dalton had said to her, but she definitely remembers him saying, "Will you marry me?" Tears flowed, followed by a quick yes and lots of hugs. They spent the night at a hotel in the city and let everybody know the following day about all their great news. Now, when I met with Dalton and Kim several weeks ago, I got a chance to talk with them and got to know them better. And as we spoke, I could see how comfortable each was with the other. Both are each other's best friend, which is a key ingredient in a successful marriage. And when I asked them what they saw in each other that would make them want to spend the rest of their lives together, Kim told me that Dalton is her role model. He knows what she's thinking even before she says it. And they get along so well together as a couple. She loves him and wouldn't know where her life would be without him. And when I posed the same question to Dalton, he told me there's a lot of instability in his life and career, and that Kim is the anchor in his life. She's the one he can trust. He's the quiet, reserved one, and she's got the outgoing personality. They say that opposites attract, and this couple is certainly a prime example. Dalton thinks that they are a great match together, and after getting to know them, I couldn't agree more. They'll begin their life together as husband and wife with a honeymoon in St. Lucia. Now, as we spoke about the future, it was evident that these two individuals, while different in many ways, are certainly a wonderful match. Each can be themselves and be genuine with each other. And Dalton and Kim have the same goals and ideals, which are key ingredients for a strong marriage. Now, I'm sure that Dalton and Kim have had their disagreements, as we all do, and they know that while they may differ in their views on a subject or a problem, they know that they'll always be there to support one another. Each cares deeply about the other and can't imagine a future without the other. And both also realize that working together as a unified team allows you to accomplish things that are just unthinkable alone. Now at this time, Dalton and Kim would like you to witness kind of an untraditional tradition. The fact is that it's untraditional is probably why it appeals to them so much. So here's how it works. I'm going to have you two go over to the table here. And while you go over to the table, I'm going to talk a little bit. Now, Kim and Dalton have written love letters to each other. Oh, oops, sorry. I'll let you go. Don't worry. They've written love letters to each other. The letters are actually, I've put them underneath the box due to the raindrops. And they're going to put these letters in the box. And then there's also, these letters are from family and close friends in the box, as well as they'll put their vows of love for each other in that box. Now, they've also got a nice bottle of wine that's sitting on the side, so they're going to put the letters down in the bottom, and then they're going to put the bottle of wine in there, and they're going to close that box, and then later on they're going to lock that box. There are 2 locks. They're going to lock that box, and that box is going to stay with them, and if they find that their marriage hits a rough spot, they're going to bring out the box, open it, share the wine, read the letters and vows, reminding them of the love that brought them together today, and the promises that they made to each other today. It is their hope and belief that they're not going to need the box until their first anniversary, and they plan on opening it. But if they do need it, it'll be there. Now, this might not seem like the most romantic thing to do on a wedding day, but think about days when things will be hard. It's important to Dalton and Kim that their ceremony and their promises to each other be realistic. They know that marriage is hard, and that it requires a lot of work. They mean every word that they will say here today, and they do not take lightly the words, as long as we both shall live. Why don't you two come on back over here? Kim and Dalton, the feeling of love that you both share today will continue to be tested by the challenges that life will send you in the years to come. And as you two become one today, remember to always remain each other's best friend. Be honest, truthful, and faithful to one another. Be flexible and forgiving. And remember that this precious gift of love that you share today is going to need constant attention and nurturing, just like a plant, to have it continue to grow. And when the burdens of life seem much too weighty, share a laugh, because it's the best medicine in the world. Now, as you prepare to become united as one today, remember that love is not only the ink that binds this marriage, it's also the eternal force of life. Love is the force that allows us to face fear and uncertainty with courage. And although you two will be sharing one life, never forget that you are 2 separate people. Cherish, affirm, and respect your differences. Love each other. Keep your commitment primary. But together you will laugh and cry, be sick and well, be happy and angry, and you will share and grow. Now, Robert Fulgham wrote a letter that speaks to the change that occurs when a couple gets married. Kim and Dalton wanted to share an excerpt from that letter with you today. And here's what it says. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. And from that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held riding in a car or over a meal or during long walks. All those sentences that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, you will, we will. Those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe. All those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things we promised and hoped and dreamed? Well, I meant it all, every word. As you look at one another, remember this moment in time. How could you forget it with the rain and the sun and everything else? Before this moment, you've been many things to one another. An acquaintance, a friend, a lover, perhaps a dancing partner, even a teacher. For you have learned much from one another in these last few years. And now you shall say a few words that take you across the threshold of life. And things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife. So, are you ready to make this union official after 8 years of knowing each other?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anybody present who has a valid and just cause as to why this couple should not be united in bonds of matrimony? I'm looking around. I don't see any hands going up. So let's keep on going. As you face each other, take each other's hands so that you may see the gift that they are to you. These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. And these are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief temporarily comes to you. And these are the hands that will countless time wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children, the hands that will join your family as one. And these are the hands that will give you strength when you need it, support and encouragement to pursue your dreams, and comfort through difficult times. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. Now, Kim and Dalton have written vows of love to each other that they have not shared with each other until now. So, Kim, I'm going to ask that you share your vows of love to Dalton. Here in the front here, I've got it.
Oh God, here comes the waterworks. Dalton, I feel as though there are no words that are strong enough to express how I feel about you. What comes to mind first is the memory of our first summer together. We were inseparable. It was the end of summer when I flew back to New Hampshire, sat at the lake house and thought I love him, and he could be the love of my life and the person I married. And here we are 8 years later. To love someone deeply gives you strength. Being loved by someone deeply gives you courage. From the beginning, you've given me strength and courage in all aspects of our lives. Only God knows the challenges that have been placed before us throughout the many years we've been together. Through it all, you have been by my side, offering advice and support. You've shown me that love will always prevail, and together, we'll make it through whatever life throws our way. I will continue to go on coffee runs and sit in your car and talk for hours, just like we used to in high school. I promise to remain faithful and love you with all my heart, and I promise to put our marriage first and offer you the best version of myself. I know that together with strength and courage, we will build a life far better than we could have imagined alone. Finally, I promise to make sure that there's always coffee available in the mornings and whiskey available for nights. I love you then, and I love you now, and I always will.
Hey. Okay, Dalton, you don't get off the hook.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yes, sir.
When I initially sat down to write these vows, it seemed almost impossible. How can I write these promises now that are supposed to provide me with a lifetime of guidance on being the best man I can be for you? After thinking about it for a while, I decided these promises should embody the characteristics of the man you deserve, the man I must aspire to be every day. While it will certainly take more than a few character traits to lead to a successful marriage, I believe these pillars will be most important in helping me be the best husband I can be for the rest of our lives. Honesty. I promise to maintain the purest integrity that only begins with faithfulness. I will be honest when it's easier to be deceitful and trust in you completely no matter the circumstances. Humility. I promise to appreciate the little things you do for me and be humbler in times of conflict because you're worth more than my pride. Selfless. I promise to prioritize our relationship despite my personal aspirations because you deserve to be with someone who puts you first. Devoted. I promise to be patient and forgiving toward whatever conflicts we have because life is too short to waste with bitterness, especially with someone as incredible as you. A sense of humor. I promise to be more lighthearted when life is difficult and to make you smile and laugh every chance I get, even if it's at my own expense. And lastly, love. I promise to love and appreciate who you are and support whoever you want to become. I will work beside you every step of the way and be resilient through whatever we face together, because I know you have already done the same for me. I love you more than I ever thought possible because you inspire me to be this man. I may not be able to predict the future, but I sincerely believe that the promises I am making you today will help me be the man that is worthy of your companionship every day for the rest of our lives.
Here. Find my spot again.
Okay.
Here we go. Dalton and Kim, as you face each other, focus into each other's eyes and listen to my words, as you become united in one in matrimony. Do you, Kimberly Lee Crum, take James Dalton Wyatt to be your lawfully wedded husband according to the bonds of matrimony?
I do.
And do you, James Dalton Wyatt, take Kimberly Lee Crum to be your lawfully wedded wife according to the bonds of matrimony?
I do.
Then, Kim, I'll ask you to repeat after me. I, Kim, take you, Dalton, to be my lawfully wedded husband.
I, Kim, take you, Dalton, to be my lawfully wedded husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward,
To have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or poorer,
for richer or poorer,
loving and cherishing you,
loving and cherishing you,
forsaking all others in sickness and in health,
forsaking all others in sickness and in health,
until death do us part.
until death do us part.
And Dalton, I'll ask that you repeat these words to Kim. I, Dalton, take you, Kim, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
I, Dalton, take you, Kim, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward,
To have and hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or poorer,
for richer or poorer,
loving and cherishing you,
loving and cherishing you,
forsaking all others in sickness and in health,
forsaking all others and in sickness and in health,
until death do us part.
until death do us part.
May I have the rings, please? We're going to make this.
There's a lot of tongue twisters in there.
Yeah. Dalton and Kim, these rings are in the shape of a circle. And the circle is a symbol, let's get them into the other hand here, a circle of wholeness and perfection, of peace and in love. It's worn on the third finger because of an ancient Greek belief that a vein from this finger goes directly to the heart. These rings mark the beginning of a lifelong journey together. Gaze on them daily and wear them proudly, for they are the symbols that speak of the love that you have for each other. So, Dalton, I'm going to ask you to take the ring and place it on Kim's finger and repeat these words. I give this ring to you as a symbol of my love and faithfulness.
So free.
You're out to repeat that, I'm sorry.
I give this ring to you as a symbol of my love and faithfulness.
I give this ring to you as a symbol of my love and faithfulness.
As I place it on your finger,
As I've placed it on your finger,
I commit my heart and soul to you.
I commit my heart and soul to you.
Wear this ring as a reminder of the vows I've made to you.
Wear this ring as a reminder of the vows I've made to you.
Okay, Kim? I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. I give this ring to you as a symbol of my love and faithfulness.
I give this ring to you as a symbol of my love and faithfulness.
As I place it on your finger,
As I place it on your finger,
I commit my heart and soul to you.
I commit my heart and soul to you.
Wear this ring as a reminder of the vows I've made to you.
Wear this ring as a reminder of the vows I've made to you.
As we near the conclusion of our ceremony, Kim and Dalton wanted to share an Irish blessing with you. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. He certainly is today. May God be with you and bless you. May you see your children's children. May you be poor in misfortunes and rich in blessings. And may you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. And may the warm rays of sun fall upon your home. And may the hand of a friend always be near. May green be the grass you walk on. May blue be the skies above you. May pure be the joys that surround you. May true be the hearts that love you. And so here we are, back in the rain, just about where we started. We've made a lot of promises to each other. You've got people here today, out in the rain, who care about you and love you. They're going to be with you, and they're going to be there whenever you need them. I wish you both the best. It's a long and rocky road ahead, but together with love, and you two together, you'll succeed and have a long life together. I wish you both the best. There's one thing left for me to do. By the power vested in me by the governor in the state of New Hampshire, it's now my honor and privilege to now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now share your first kiss as husband and wife.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
You're going.
Right here, right now, is all I ever want. All my yesterdays and my tomorrows. All right here, right now, it's what I waited for. Now I can say this is the best day of my life. Oh, 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 oh. Right now, I wanna step back, take a moment, take a deep breath. I wanna take this in. Oh, right now, I wanna slow it down, stop the world from turning round, so this moment never ends. If my eyes could stop the time, I'd take a picture in my mind and never let this feeling pass. And if my dreams could come to life and all my wishes realized, I would find a way to make this moment last. Right here, right now, is all I ever want. All my yesterdays and my tomorrows. All right here, right now, is what I waited for. Now I can say this is the best day of my life. Oh, 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 oh. If I could, I would reach out, try to hold back the hands of time, if only just for a while. Oh, if I could, I would bring down all the stars up in the sky to shine on this moment in time. If I could stop the hourglass, the grains of sand before they pass, no future and no past. And if my dreams could come to life and all my wishes realized, I would only wish to make this moment last. Right here, right now, is all I ever want. All my yesterdays and my tomorrows. All right here, right now, is what I waited for. Now I can say this is the best day of my life. Oh, 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 right here, right now, is all I ever want. All my yesterdays and my tomorrows are right here, right now. It's what I've waited for, and I thank you for the best day of my life. Right here, right now, is all I ever want. All my yesterdays and my tomorrows. All right here, right now, it's what I waited for. Now I can say this is the best day of my life. Oh, 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 oh.
voice is still shaky because I'm not only nervous, but I'm still cold. So I'm sorry, but I'd like to start off by thanking all of you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of them for coming and joining in the marriage celebration of Kim and Dalton. I know they appreciate everyone being here, especially those from Oklahoma, of course. It can be tough to coordinate travel, and I'm definitely very grateful that they're both able to have you all here, especially us from New Hampshire as well. So my name's Kendra Huckins, and I am Kim's matron of honor. It was a true pleasure to take on this role for her when she first asked. I thought this speech was going to be the hardest part of my duties, except I think helping Kim make decisions was the hardest part. If you know her anyway, if you know her like I do and all of us friends do, she's a little indecisive. But we were so honored to be by her side to help her through the process. And she, Susan, and Dalton, and Dale did an amazing job picking this place as well as putting all this together. It's really came out amazing. I don't think they could have picked a better setting to get married in. Kim has been coming up to the lake since she was a little girl. Dawn and Susan have always had a house up here from their parents, so she always loved coming up here and would always rave about it. And when I first came up here, I knew what she was talking about years ago. I think this was so special for her to be able to get married to the man of her dreams overlooking the lake in New Hampshire mountains. So thank you, Dalton, very much for being so amazing and living this dream of hers with her. I'm sure she's beyond grateful that this has unfolded the way it has. Having gotten married last year, I've been living through the wedding planning experience with Kim all over again. It's as stressful as it can be. Kim, you'll definitely miss the craziness of planning the best day of your life, and I truly mean that. All the papers and brochures and invoices you have packed away in little organized folders. When you come home from your honeymoon, you're going to cry having to get rid of a lot of it, because when you move out here, you're not going to be able to take it with you. You're going to have to carry a little bit less baggage than normal. So, and I know you'll feel this way, as I did, because just leading up to today, every time I've called you, you've continuously said, I just wanted to slow down, even though it's been 2 years of planning, and here we are. So, unfortunately, my dear, time keeps ticking, and we're here. Today's the day that you're marrying your best friend. I wanted to share with you both something that our pastor spent time talking to us about, as it really, really stuck with us since we've gotten married. And two of the things are that he taught us about love being a team sport, which your officiant mentioned, as well as recognizing each other's needs. So as you go forward in your life's journey, you'll have to be aware of not just like, I need to get my nails done, but each other's needs and like what you need to feel loved. And this theme per se is something, like I said, that really has stuck with Craig and I and has kept us through even though it hasn't been very, very long, but still, it's something we think about every day. And any hurdle that you have to jump over, remembering that and just focusing for a second and saying, hey, what is it that you need to feel better in this relationship? Because that's what I think will keep you going over any hurdle. So as I said, love is a team effort, and I think you both really already have a pretty core foundation of that. And this is one that keeps building as your journey continues. And I think it's pretty clear that you both genuinely complement each other, as your officiant also said. You bring each other down to different areas of reality. So Dalton being the more serious, let's make sure we do this right. And Kim saying, well, let's have a little fun with this, but we'll still do it right. I've always thought it was sad that we didn't get to grow up through high school and college together, as those are huge, like life, we find ourselves during that time. But it was all worth it because you went out there and found the love of your life, and I could not be happier for you. But you're going to come back to New Hampshire and finish your happily ever after here. I'd also like to mention that last night at the rehearsal dinner, meeting everybody that has been such a huge part of Kim and Dalton's life since I hadn't been able to get to Oklahoma, was really, really very special. And you have an awesome, awesome family and friends support group. So you guys should be so, so proud and blessed that you have that. And that's what this day is all about. It's about joining two families together of two incredible people that are destined to be together. And I love you both and wish you nothing but the best.
I don't know, you might have heard me bawling up at the front of the wedding, so I'm going to try to keep my tears away for this speech. Okay, so my name is Vanessa. I'm a close friend of the bride, Kim, and I had the great privilege of being Kim's bridesmaid throughout her engagement. And today, I had the great honor in standing in front of you all and the lovely new couple. So for those of you who aren't aware, I was the bridesmaid who completely ruined Kim and Dalton's surprise engagement party. I know, I quite literally sent a picture of the actual party to Kim, the bride, before she arrived. So, horrible bridesmaid. So when Kim asked me to give a speech, I was so excited because I figured this could be my redemption. However, I quickly realized it's really hard to write a speech about such an amazing couple and only getting a few minutes to do so. So of course I used Google. So I came across a website that was titled The Do's and Don'ts of Giving a Bridesmaid Speech. So I hope you guys don't mind if I go by that. So the website's first do is to share some memories of you and the bride, which is so easy because we have so many. So we've known each other since the 2nd grade. We met through the long, painful cheerleading practices with our favorite coach, Trish. And we've been friends ever since. So from the countless sleepovers, crashing each other's family vacations, thank you, Mrs. Crum, and my mother for funding those ones, by the way. Sorry, where am I? Okay, to sharing passion for Disney, all the way to counting how many times Mr. Zopa would say in a class period, over 200, by the way, because we counted together, into the endless memories we shared. We truly have been through so much together. Ever since the big move, we've stayed close friends, and I'm so thankful for that. So now the website ensured me not to bore the audience, so I would never want to do such thing, so I figured I would add some don'ts into my speech. I hope you guys don't mind. So the website told me to make sure I did not express, and I quote, your undying passion for the groom. But I'm going to. Okay, Dalton? I'm going to put you on the spot. Up until last year, I only knew Dalton through phone calls, Skype sessions, and words of Kim. However, I was lucky enough to finally meet Dalton last year during his first trip to New Hampshire. And guess what? I discovered I do, in fact, have an undying passion for him. You might ask why. Because after meeting him, I instantly knew, tears, okay, he was going to endlessly love and care for my best friend. Dalton is sweet, he is charismatic, and he is a true gentleman. Sorry. Dalton, it's so obvious that you treat Kim the way she deserves to be treated, like a princess. So thank you for that, and thank you for giving Kim her happily ever after that she's been talking about since we were little. So before I start to cry, I'm going to move on from that. I'm going to start talking about Kim and Dalton as a couple as my next do. So Kim and Dalton have a relationship like no other. No matter what they do, whether it's getting coffee, taking the dogs out on their walks, skiing in Colorado, they're always having so much fun with one another. They have been through hardships that many people our age have not gone through, including 2 deployments. That was not an easy time, but they did it. The foundation they created as a couple is so strong and secure that they got through it. And I know from the bottom of my heart that if you guys can make it through that, you're going to overcome anything. The last don't I want to throw in was to not threaten the groom. Luckily, though, I don't have to threaten you, Dalton, for 2 reasons. 1, because I know that's completely unnecessary. I know you're going to love Kim, you're going to take care of her, help her reach her goals, support her through this beautiful life that you 2 will create. The second reason, because for those of you who aren't aware, that man right there is Dale Crum, and I think he has it covered. So Kim and Dalton, I think I speak for most of us in this room when I say that, Kim, we finally understand why you moved. Oh, okay, wait. Didn't make sense when we were 13, saying goodbye to each other. Oh my God, I'm going to try to run through this. But standing in front of you today, I finally realized why. It was God's way of bringing you and Dalton together. So for the first time in my life, I can say I'm thankful you moved to Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Because there you found the one. I love you guys.
Hey, I'm Steve Craig. I'm very new to this. This is the first speech that I've ever given in front of anyone, so don't be too hard on me. I didn't actually write a speech. I kind of wanted to wing it because I can talk about Dalton for 12 hours at a time if there's just one or two people here, but this is a very different situation. So I tried to put something together to kind of express my experience with Dalton when I met him. I'm his stepdad, first of all. I met him when he was 4 years old, and it was a hilarious situation. I was about 19 or 20 years old, and I had a 1986 red Chevy Silverado in front of my garage at my mom and dad's house, and Dalton's mom pulls in, and I got in the passenger seat, and I turned around and looked, and I saw the smallest, little, scrawniest, shortest kid I've ever seen in my life looking at me. And I smiled, and I said, "Hi." And he pinched his eyebrows together, and he said, "Is that your pickup truck?" And I was like, is that your voice, really? And then I didn't say that, but I thought, well, okay. And I said, "Yeah, that's my pickup truck." And he said, "Well, do you have a motorcycle in that garage?" And I said, "Okay, I think this kid is pretty serious." And I didn't know him very long. It only took a couple of weeks to find out that Dalton had he was a very serious-minded kid. I mean, there was nothing cute about his toys. It was Bob the Builder and Tonka trucks, and he was a man's man at age 4. It was unbelievable to see. Shortly after this, I bought him a play school basketball goal, and he fell in love with the game. He throws it. He pulled it in the living room, made basket after basket, then comes up to me and pinched his eyebrows together, and he says, "I want to be on a team," like that. I said, "Okay, we'll get you on a team." So I got him on Boys and Girls Club League, and he was the shortest kid. Like, he wore these shorts that were supposed to come down to his knees, but they came down to like here, and he would run with these knife hands. It was so. I mean, you fell in love with this kid right away, and they made a basket. He would jump and pump his fist, and he was so passionate about it. And it wasn't even the end of the first year, he came up to me and he pinched his eyebrows and he said, "I want to play in the NBA." And if anybody knows Dalton the way I do, he's not the type of person you say, "You can't do that, Dalton," because that would basically fuel him. And I had a feeling that that's not the words I should probably say. So I said, "Okay, well, you can play in the NBA, but you're not really the tallest guy, so you're definitely going to have to work. You're going to have to put in a lot of work and outwork everybody." And he's like, "Okay." And I really didn't think that he was going to do it, but surprisingly, this 5-year-old kid was up at 5 o'clock in the morning at the fitness center with me, running wind sprints. You remember, dribbling lines, shooting layups, shooting free throws until I was ready to go home. And and he was 5. And this is who Dalton has always been since the day that I met him. It's amazed me. Hold on one second. I knew I'd blank, so I made a little cheat sheet. I'm not perfect, obviously. So whenever he got a little bit older, we kind of fell on some hard times because his mother got ill and we had some problems at home. And I was kind of scared that this might kind of take away some of Dalton's drive, because a lot of us, when we go into adversity and hardship, we kind of become cold and we don't necessarily stay the same person. And this really concerned me. So we leaned heavily on each other and we created this very unique bond, me and him. We were closer than anybody that I've ever experienced in my life. And we actually had these little games that we would play. I call them games. He would probably call what I did torture. I used to turn on classical music. and turn it up really loud so it'd be like dun 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 dun, and he would start running because he knew it was going to happen. I would chase him across the house, and if I caught him, then I would start tickling him, right? And he's like, I hate it when you do that. But don't think this kid didn't get me back, okay? Because he created this game where he would basically stalk me like a great cat stalks its prey, and watch me do stuff and wait in the corner. And I remember the worst one ever. I was walking down the hallway eating a banana, and he jumped out of the bathroom and screamed something like, "What are you doing?" And I threw the banana, and I screamed like a girl and fell on the ground and started laughing hysterically because he got me so bad. Like, it just floored me. So we had this bond, and we kind of leaned on each other to get through those times. And he never really broke his spirit what was happening at home. And when he turned 13, he decided to go live with his real dad. And I didn't necessarily think that was a bad thing because he kind of needed to get out of what was going on at home. But I was worried that I wasn't going to be there for him anymore. I wasn't going to be able to give him that support anymore. And I didn't want him to change. He was so perfect, and he'd always been so perfect. And from that time forward, I got to see him every other weekend, but I would only hear about the things that he was accomplishing in his life. I heard that he joined ROTC. This is something that I heard from afar. You know, his high school graduation I got to attend. It was a great honor. I heard that he joined the Air Force. I heard that he went to tech school. I heard that he joined security forces, and I graduated. I got to go to San Antonio for that. It's a great honor. Him becoming a firearms instructor, both of his deployments, going to college, not one, but 2 degrees. It's just amazing, and hearing this from afar, I know that he's never lost that spirit. That spirit's never been broken, and it never will. And I'll tell you what, for everything that you've accomplished up to now and everything that you will accomplish in the future, there's nothing greater that you've accomplished than win her heart and give us this special day. And that's all I got pretty much.
Living and dying, laughing or crying. If we have the whole world or have nothing, I know there are long nights, but we'll make it. With every sunrise comes a new light, and all of the things that make us feel like we have it all. All of the times that make us realize we have it all. We have it all. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Father's love, a wedding dance, New Year's dreams, a toast with friends, a soldier coming home from war, a faith, a hope for so much more. A brand new life, a mother's prayer, shooting stars, ocean air, a lover's kiss, hard goodbyes, fireworks, Christmas lights. These are the things that make us feel alive. These are the times that make us realize
obvious that you guys love each other so much, and I can't wait to see the beautiful life you two create together. We love you.
Hello! We're downstairs from your wedding, and I really want to hurry up and get back up there and party with you. So all I want to tell you, Kim and Dalton, is I can't wait until me and Craig are old and crinkly when we're like 60 with you guys, and then we're going to have all our little kids and our grandkids, and we're going to run all over the place, all over your lake house. That's what I want to tell you.
Hi guys! So it's your wedding day, and it was amazing. Just saying, rain or shine, it worked out beautifully. And I just want to say that it was awesome being able to grow up with you guys and know you and Kim, you babysitting me. It was just a wonderful family experience that we've always had together, and our many trips that we've taken together. And I just want to say, someday when you have little ones running around, don't be afraid to call me. I'll come and babysit for your kids. So we'll just keep this longevity of family going. I'll be there. Beep, 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 beep. Okay.
Hi, Kim and Dalton. I can't believe the day of your wedding has finally come. It was such an amazing day, and it really was an honor to have been a part of it and shared it with you guys. It really was just beautiful. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I know today is the start of a beautiful life together. So love you both so much, and I'm ready to go up and dance.
Hi. You know I'm Mom. So first off, Kim, you will always be my baby. And you promised you would always be my baby. And I love you beyond anything you can imagine. But one day when you have children, you will understand that love. Dalton, on the other hand, when he first arrived at my doorstep and his dad dropped him off when he was 17 and said, "He's yours to take care of," I was a little concerned, and it did take a couple of years before I began to see the qualities in Dalton that you saw. An example is we went out and in Mustang, we had those 2x12s out in the backyard, and I got Dalton to come help me. And then there was this big snake out there. He was probably 5-6 feet and I don't know, like 2 inches wide. So I was the one that was cleaning out the 2x12s from the stack and giving them to Dalton. And then Dalton behind me was saying, "Do you know how far the snake can jump? He can jump right over that wand and get you." And then after we were done, I turned around and Dalton had those 2x12s spread across the lawn like 56 pickup sticks. I mean, it was like more work than we needed to do. But anyways, he has grown on me tremendously. I love Dalton like a son. He has such integrity, accountability, and he genuinely loves you to death. I am so pleased that I am able to say you're in good hands. I mean, I feel so comfortable. You have no idea what a relief it is to feel that way about somebody taking your child. And I know Dalton will be everything to you. The genuine love you feel for each other, the hurdles you've been through, the deployments. I mean, you've got through it all. The accomplishments you both have made. You have 2 bachelor degrees apiece. I mean, you've accomplished more at your age than most people do in a lifetime. So take solace in the fact you're together. You genuinely love each other. You're best friends. So when times get tough, have a cup of coffee. Go talk to each other. Don't let a little thing become a mountain. Remember this day. Remember the love you feel for each other. And I know you will have a beautiful family. I will always be there. I will support you in any way I can. I love you both so much. And you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. and I appreciate both of you and all you do. Love you both, and I hope you have great memories of this day and you move forward and have wonderful memories in the future with a family. Thanks. Bye.